If you guys paid attention in class, then you already understand bacteria and or viruses and how they work. If you don't remember, then let me go ahead and remind you guys.
It looks like you lost another one.
A virus mutates when there's a change to its genome, the set of instructions that contains the information the virus needs to function. Mutation occurs when the virus replicates while inside a host, such as a human body. During replication, the genome is copied. Sometimes there's a mistake in this copying process. Just where the mistakes occur on the genome determines the impact on the virus's ability to survive or continue to replicate. All viruses go through some form of mutation. Some viruses, like the flu and measles viruses, mutate faster than others. However, most mutations have no impact on the properties of the virus. Mutation could make a virus weaker, or it could lead to changes that encourage infection to spread. For example, if the proteins on the surface of the virus mutate in such a way as to trick or counter the immune system in some way, a virus can become very dangerous. Scientists have tracked multiple mutations of SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, since it appeared in China in late 2019.
From the World Health Organization, they are now classifying this new variant as a variant of concern, and they've given it a name, Omicron, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's not the name we expected. The next Greek alphabet letter was nu, so we seem to have skipped over that, and we've gone on to Omicron. So they are essentially saying that countries are being asked to enhance their surveillance and their sequencing efforts to better understand variants, to submit their information to the World Health Organization and to global databases on genome sequences. Essentially looking through this to understand more about this variant right now, but saying that it does appear to potentially have the potential for reinfection, so that suggests the ability to evade immunity to some degree. They're also noting how quickly it has spread and suggesting that it does have the potential to be more transmissible. So looking through here to better understand this variant, but the World Health Organization coming down and classifying it very quickly as a variant of concern. This guy's after South Africa very early on raised the flag about this, noting the more than 30 mutations on the spike protein that make it so concerning. But we are waiting for a lot more details on it. Guys, back to you.
So why is the media acting like this new strand is so amazing and treacherous? Don't marvel at that. Nothing is new under the sun. They have already started spreading these rumors. If we have 7 billion people on this earth right now, and that's not even an accurate count, and they're saying 500 million about people caught the coronavirus, are we really going to act like 1 million of those people are not supposed to be feeling like 1,000 people are like everyone they know has caught the coronavirus? Everyone has 1 or 2 or 1 to 5 people that they knew that caught the coronavirus. And the amount of deaths don't even equate to the amount of people that they said caught the coronavirus. But if only 1 million people caught the coronavirus, there's 7 billion people in the world. That means that this isn't even as great as a pandemic as they're making it seem. In the Bible, a plague would destroy a third of the earth, a third of 7 billion, at least 3 to 3.54 billion, because it's gonna be just under half of 7 or 7.7 billion. So that's we're not even experiencing a pandemic or an epidemic or anything for that matter, because seriously, for them to be quarantining us, it's all for agenda and propaganda. If people were really dying from this, it would be like a ring around the posy kind of thing, where you just walk outside, it smell like death, people would drop right next to you, you would be in the middle of a conversation with your friend and they would drop dead. So this is not a pandemic.
Coronavirus has claimed 350,000 lives in the United States, but tonight, Donald Trump says the soaring death toll is fake news. The country's top doctor was quick to retaliate, as millions of Americans still ignore the health advice.
No masks, no social distancing. This pool party in Florida underway as the state logged record case numbers. And as the US COVID-19 death toll ticked over 351,000, the president declared it false. tweeting, "The number of cases and deaths of the China virus is far exaggerated in the United States because of the CDC's ridiculous method of determination. Fake news." The nation's top health officials discrediting that claim within minutes.
From a public health perspective, I have no reason to doubt those numbers, and I think people need to be very aware that it's not just about the deaths, it's about the hospitalizations.
The deaths are real deaths. I mean, all you need to do is to go out into the trenches, go to the hospitals, see what the healthcare workers are dealing with.
Dr. Anthony Fauci's response exacerbating his tense relationship with Donald Trump, the president having the last word on social media. Dr. Fauci is revered by the lamestream media, yet he works for me and the Trump administration, and I am in no way given any credit for my work. Could this just be more fake news? Amid the politics, the US Surgeon General desperate to keep the nation's focus on the virus.
There's a finish line in sight, but we've got to keep running towards it.
Kate Creedon, 9 News.
Matthew chapter 6 verses 25 through 30. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, or yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than the meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather unto barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much more than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin, and yet they say unto you, that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Therefore, if God so clotheth the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast unto the oven, shall not he much more clothe you, O ye of little faith?